In 2014, GoPro had it all. A market valuation of $10 billion. Over two-thirds of the global action camera market. Nearly $2 billion in revenue. It was one of the hottest tech companies in the world. If you were into action sports, adventure vlogging, or just loved cool gadgets, you knew GoPro. The brand had become synonymous with thrill-seeking. It was the default camera for skydivers, surfers, skaters, hikers, and even filmmakers. It didn't just sell hardware. It sold adventure, freedom, perspective. But fast forward to today. GoPro is a shadow of its former self. It's lost $9.8 billion in value. Its stock price has dropped by over 99%, and analysts predict that the company may go bankrupt within months. So what happened? Was it bad luck? Poor timing? Competition? No. It all comes down to one decision, a single, catastrophic choice that changed everything. And the worst part? It was completely avoidable. This is the story of how GoPro fell from tech titan to near total irrelevance, and the powerful lesson it holds for every business, founder, and creator. Let's go back to 2014. Just 4 months after going public at $24 per share, GoPro's stock skyrocketed to $93.85. Investors couldn't get enough. The company was now worth $11 billion more than established players like Twitter or Harley-Davidson at the time. Nick Woodman, GoPro's charismatic CEO and founder, was hailed as the next great tech visionary. He had started GoPro to film his surfing trips, and now he was leading a global brand that dominated an entire market segment. At its peak, GoPro owned 67% of the action camera market. Their Hero series of cameras were bestsellers. Viral videos powered by GoPro footage were everywhere, from extreme sports to heartwarming family moments. The company even got shout-outs on Jimmy Kimmel Live and The Tonight Show. People believed this wasn't just a camera brand. It was a lifestyle. Everything was going right. And then came the spending spree. On the same day that GoPro stock reached its all-time high, Nick Woodman made a decision that would eventually bring the company to its knees. He decided to spend big. GoPro went on one of the most aggressive expansion runs in tech history. In just 18 months, the company doubled its workforce, going from 800 employees to over 1,600. Expenses ballooned. R&D budgets exploded. By 2016, GoPro was spending over $350 million a year on research and development. But here's the kicker. In 2014, the same year GoPro made just $128 million in profit, Nick Woodman awarded himself a $284.5 million stock bonus. That's more than double the company's total earnings for the year. His personal bonus was 2.2 times larger than GoPro's net profit. If that doesn't scream red flag, what does? But Woodman wasn't done. He had even bigger dreams, and they had little to do with cameras. First, GoPro launched its own media division. They hired executives from HBO and Hulu. The plan? To create original content and monetize the vast library of GoPro user footage floating around the internet. It sounded promising. After all, people loved watching GoPro videos. Why not become the Netflix of action sports? At the same time, they started working on a brand new product, the GoPro Karma drone. The idea was brilliant in theory. Drones needed cameras. GoPro already made the best action cameras. Why not create a drone to go with it? It was the perfect synergy. But neither of these ventures would pay off. The media division burned through hundreds of millions of dollars and produced little value. It never gained traction, never found an audience, and was ultimately shut down in 2016. The Karma drone? Even worse. Shortly after launch, customers began reporting a terrifying issue. The drones were falling out of the sky. Literally. They lost power mid-flight, sometimes over highways, neighborhoods, or forests. GoPro had no choice but to recall every single Karma drone. By the time they shut the project down for good in 2018, it had cost the company $376 million. Two massive failures, and meanwhile, the core camera business was quietly slipping away. As GoPro chased dreams of becoming a media empire, the rest of the world kept moving. Smartphones, particularly the iPhone, began catching up. The latest iPhones could now shoot 4K video. Android phones followed. Camera software improved dramatically. People no longer needed a separate device to record their adventures. Their phones were good enough. At the same time, new companies were entering the space GoPro once ruled. Insta360 launched sleek, versatile 360-degree cameras that created immersive content with minimal effort. DJI, which had already taken over the drone world, released the Osmo Action, a direct competitor to the GoPro Hero. Even budget brands from China were producing action cameras at a fraction of GoPro's price, and they were surprisingly decent. While GoPro was distracted, its competitors were innovating, and that spelled trouble. The warning signs were everywhere. In Q4 2015, GoPro's revenue dropped by 31% year-over-year. In Q1 2016, they slashed financial forecasts by 50%. The Hero 4 Session, a new compact camera, flopped so badly it resulted in a $57 million inventory write-down. Still, GoPro kept spending. By 2018, reality could no longer be ignored. The company laid off hundreds of employees. It shut down failing divisions. Nick Woodman's salary was cut to just $1. But the damage was done. Their market share had plummeted from 45% to 28%. Consumers had moved on. Investors had lost faith. And the brand that once defined an entire category was fading fast. Let's look at where things stand today. GoPro's stock is now trading at around 59 cents, down from a peak of $93.85. Its market capitalization is under $100 million. In 2024 alone, the company reported a staggering $432 million in losses. Analysts give GoPro a 47% probability of bankruptcy within the next year. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a total collapse. So, what was the true fatal decision? It wasn't just bad products or failed ventures. It was losing focus. The moment GoPro stopped obsessing over its core product, the action camera, and started chasing shiny objects, they lost their identity. They spread themselves too thin. They tried to be everything to everyone, and ended up being nothing to anyone. There's a powerful lesson in GoPro's story, one that goes beyond just business. Success isn't about doing more things. It's about doing the right things better than anyone else. GoPro once owned the action camera space, but instead of doubling down on that, they tried to become a drone company, a media company, a lifestyle brand, and in doing so, they lost sight of what made them great in the first place. But there's one more layer to this story. While GoPro was building empires, they forgot something crucial. People don't buy from corporations. They buy from people. Think about the biggest brands in the world today. Tesla has Elon Musk. Apple had Steve Jobs. Virgin has Richard Branson. YouTube channels like MrBeast or MKBHD. They are the brand. When a brand becomes too corporate, too disconnected, too soulless, people stop caring.